In today's video, we're going to talk about the 3 ways to get buttery smooth footage just like this. Alright, so number 1 is the walk. This one has less to do about the camera and more about the user, yourself. You have to think of yourself as a giant shock absorber for any of the motion that's going on in the camera. So when using a gimbal, you're gonna wanna bend the arms a little bit, bend the knees, and most importantly, when you're stepping, go from heel to toe so that you're not stomping on the ground and creating any jitters or extra motion in the camera. Number 2 is your frames per second. So if you're not already doing this, you should be shooting real estate in 60 frames per second. So nobody's perfect walking, but when you see your footage in real time, you'll notice some steps up and down or some jitters, something like that. It's not perfect, it's not exactly smooth. So what 60 frames per second does is when you slow it down to 24, it smooths out all of those jitters or motions in the camera and makes it really, really smooth. So first thing that I do when I'm importing my footage in Premiere Pro is highlight all my clips and change it to 23.976, which is 24 frames per second, essentially. All right, so number 3 is warp stabilizer. And this is done in editing, in post, and I like to view this as my last line of defense. If both walking and slowing it down to 60 frames per second is not smooth enough, then add a little bit of warp stabilizer in there from your effects in Premiere Pro. So to find this, like I said, go to the effects panel in Premiere Pro, search for warp stabilizer, and then drag it into your clip. After you've dragged it into your clip, it will automatically set it to 50%. You're gonna want it somewhere between 1 to 5%. Any more than that, you might see extra warping in the video itself. So try to keep it between 1 to 5%. That's my suggestion. All right, so those are my 3 tips to getting buttery smooth footage. You got your walk, you got your frames per second, which is at 60, and then you've got your last line of defense, which is warp stabilizer. I hope those help, and if you guys have any questions, please drop a comment below, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.